I think he waits to come on late just to make an appearance because he waits for us to see live, and then, Lord, holy shit pants, decides to come on late and make a grand entrance as befitting his status as Lord and Master of the
Before
domain.
we start the podcast, I want to say one thing.
We're live, just so you know.
Oh, Ukraine!
Oh, God. Oh, man. Welcome to another heaping helping of the Final Scoop special edition, Lucas's birthday. The ripe young age of 27 years old. Lucas, happy birthday, my friend. For all listeners tuning on live stream, thank you for joining us. Post up any comments, questions, queries, quips, smart-ass remarks you might have for me, Lucas, and Robbie. Lord knows where Shane is. He's probably with a hobbit or something like that. We'll find out sooner or later. Anyway, thank you all for joining us as always. We appreciate it. And my friends, how are you doing?
So first of all, thank you for birthday wishes, but my birthday is tomorrow, so
We're a day early.
I'm still super young, beautiful, and 36-year-old.
Virile.
Yeah.
Supps on deck. Happy birthday, Lucas. Happy birthday, superstar from Alex. So yeah, everybody, Lucas's birthday is actually tomorrow, but since we don't record podcasts on Sunday, we record them on Saturday, or we record them today, and we're not recording it tomorrow. Then yeah, so early birthdays, just like Robbie's last week. Robbie's birthday was actually on Sunday of last week on the 21st, or no, the 20th, sorry, and we recorded on the 19th. So baby, everybody's a baby compared to Sean.
And I didn't say it.
Hey, by the way, the podcast that you did with Sean was pretty awesome. So congrats on that, and also congrats on the award that you gained with Carolina. I was watching the whole thing, so but I don't know what was going on with your computer because it was like scrolling.
You know what, Lucas? I think the problem was my computer hates Sean.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe your computer got hacked by some Polish beautiful guy.
AKA superstar.
Yeah, man.
Devin, hello all. Happy birthday, Lucas.
Thank you.
Hey, Devin. Paul, happy early freaking birthday, Lucas. Mine was 2 days ago. Happy birthday to you too, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Sean, thank you, Lucas, and well deserved.
Thank you.
And F you, Robbie.
I love you too.
Simon says, happy birthday to us.
Yeah, because his birthday is exactly the same day as mine. So yeah, man. Simon, happy birthday.
There you go. 2 days ago. Okay. All right, gents. What's new in the world? We obviously know what's been going on with Russia and Ukraine. Robbie, for the listeners that don't know, I don't know how far you want to get into this or how much time you want to spend on talking about it. But you are originally from Ukraine. Do you want to give anybody an update, the listeners, about if you have any family, friends over there? Do you want to get into it, or do you just kind of want to bypass it because I know this is kind of a rough time for you and the Apollon family?
I mean, as you know, I was born in Ukraine. Actually, to be exact, Soviet Union, because that was part of the Soviet Union. So it was one big country that obviously was Russia, Ukraine, and many other republics, 15. Marina is from Ukraine. Alina it's actually, she was born in Moscow in Russia, but her parents are originally also Ukrainian Jews. And Carolina, of course, is from Belarus. So all of us kind of involved in this or affected by this. And, I didn't know it's going to hit me as hard as it hit me until it actually hit me. And, it wasn't easy because I found myself to be in a pretty bad spot in terms of, I couldn't be in a worse spot than people that are suffering right now. But in terms of, I have a lot of Russian friends. I have obviously a lot of Ukrainian friends. Lucas, of course, is more familiar from Eastern Bloc with, the whole history of the Eastern Europe. And, he'll be the first to attest. Russians hated Polish hated Russians, Ukrainian hated everybody. They all hated each other to a degree, but at the same time, there was also love and unity and camaraderie between those countries, and something that unified them in a way. But the thing is that, people are arguing left and right, and they calling Russians scumbags and whatnot. And of course, there is truth to it, because what's going on right now, I will say, has absolutely 100% no excuse whatsoever. It shouldn't have happened. Um, bombing. I just talked to my friend from Russia who was a little bit on the defensive when it comes to Russia, understandably. And he said, "But what about what what Ukrainians did? Killing Russians." We could go back in history and attack every nation. We all responsible, or maybe our ancestors, for something bad that has happened. Anyone can be accused, but just because Auschwitz was in Poland, should I hold Lucas responsible for it or attack him? I've known Lucas for 2 years now plus, and I didn't see him being anti-Semitic or hating me because I'm from Ukraine or I speak Russian or any of that. The bottom line is, I don't go to Germany and hold Germans responsible for what happened in World War II. It just, and what the Germans did to Jews, Russians, and Polish people. I mean, Luca's been to FIBO many times. I don't think he was thinking about grabbing a gun and shooting Germans.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. And you don't attack a nation. You don't attack innocent civilians. You don't destroy beautiful cities. You don't decide that you're going to change the government. It's not your decision when you enter an independent country. And it's painful as hell to watch people that going through what they're going. I mean, Robert, you were at the Apollon Nutrition Seminar, Apollon Gym Seminar, only in October. You were sitting few feet away from Kirill Khudayev. Kirill is now with a pregnant girlfriend hiding in bomb shelter. Only in October you were sitting next to him.
Yeah.
And my other friend from Russia goes that when he talked to Kirill was a little bit hostile. Can you fucking blame him?
Yeah, very
Can you
so.
blame him? Lucas was yesterday, I mean, if you, Lucas, don't mind me saying this, but Lucas was very aggressive towards the Russian government. Can you blame him? You know what? Poland is supplying right now ammunition and and supplies to the Ukrainians who are fighting. Poland opened their borders and everything else. You think Polish people are going to like Russians right now? Yeah, I know that not all Russians are bad, but the thing is that guilty by association. But this is painful. This is terrible. There is no excuse for it. It took its toll on me. I won't deny it. I didn't expect that it's going to affect me this much, but it did. And it does. And the only thing I can say is that people should not be making stupid comments on social media, not knowing what the fuck is going on. Because everybody's trying to take sides or make stupid jokes. And the jokes and the comments are exactly what's bothering me the most. I mean, yesterday I fucking turn on my computer or I go on social media and I see a post by somebody you guys might even know, and he says, "Well, hopefully the Russian army is vaccinated." Are you serious? I mean, that's what you want to say? I mean, if you were standing next to me, I would probably fucking hit you in the head, because that's not the time. We joke a lot, but people are losing lives. And I'll be honest, some of the posts and stuff like that. I saw Guys Testosterone's post, and he goes, "Ukrainians, fight, fight. We have your back." You have whose back? You sitting in fucking New Jersey, in front of your computer, and typing, "We got your back." No, you don't. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what war is. You haven't lived in Soviet Union. You haven't lived in Poland during the Soviet regime and the communist regime. You have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm asking, using this platform, if you don't mind, guys, I would like to ask everybody who's listening, and if anyone's gonna, convey the message, please, and I say it respectfully, shut the fuck up. Don't try to be smart. People are fucking dying. Their homes are being wrecked. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They don't have food. Only a few days ago, it was a peaceful country where, they didn't know that this is going to hit them. And in terms of politics and discussion, NATO and fucking Biden and whatnot, it's not about that. There is absolutely zero excuse for what has happened. None. This should never happen. And last but not least, not to take up all the time, this podcast. Do not hate Russians. Not every Russian is the same. Just like not every American is the same. Not every American is racist. Not every American is Islamophobic. Not every American is, homophobic. You cannot measure everybody by the same, measurement. It doesn't work that way. We all different, and yet there are scumbags among us. But that doesn't mean that we are guilty by association. That's not how it works. And that's just one of those things that I would ask, please be a little bit more understanding. You don't have, it's not that you have to do something. Probably just if you don't know anything, or you're not knowledgeable on a subject, maybe the best way is just not to say anything. That's it. Because don't forget, while we have Ukrainians are dying, we also have Russian soldiers that did not sign up for this. They being sent to die for absolutely no reason. Typically, when you go to the army, it's to defend your country, not to attack the other one, and possibly die for absolutely no reason because some egomaniac decided that he wants to have a world domination.
Yeah, it's Mitz and Paul bring up some good points. The act of one man doesn't mean the whole country is behind him, and you can dislike the government without disliking the people of that country.
Yeah, in Poland, we now say that this whole thing is due to just one person, that has just like big ego, type of mindset, and wants to like rule the world by himself. But everyone is asking the exact same question, same as me. When this whole thing will finish, hopefully, very, very shortly, how Russians gonna look like on the, international area, who will do, business with them, or like, who will ever trust them, or like, try to, have any relationships with them. So that's something to think about, and I also think that, this just like, shows what type of like person, the main guy in Russia is. I don't want to like even say his name because it's just like I'm just like at one point, tomorrow will be my big day, but at the same time I'm not even gonna do anything about it. I'm not gonna celebrate as much as I would like to. Just because it's like it's so cruel, to see what's been going on, and it's very close to my country because we are like Ukraine is our neighbor, so seeing something like this, and so many people are like coming to us, just to chill, relax, and simply try to avoid the war and everything that involves it. So I'm happy that my government stepped up, and they're like sending loads of like food, providing all kinds of like support. And you know what? Don't get mad about like people like try to say or post some posts about yeah, we are supporting you, or we are with you. Every positive message counts. Yeah, but at the same time, I totally understand your standpoint, because you're from Ukraine. So yeah, when someone is like try to be a smart influencer at this period of time, it doesn't look that good.
Absolutely. And like I said, any support for people, not only Ukraine, but also people in Russia, I totally understand. And I think it's very, very welcomed, and it's nice. But I think, you know what, when we live in a safe, well, for now at least, in a safe country, when we live at home, and there is no war or anything like that, it's very hard to comprehend or understand, so the jokes sometimes they can go a little bit too far. And even a harmless joke is gonna can and we joke here all the time. I mean, we bust each other's chops all the time, we make fun of each other all the time, but it's all out of love, it's all out of respect. And you know what, I'm just going to say it, even something as harmless, and I mean it's harmless, I'll be the first one to admit it's harmless, as I saw yesterday a post by Mark Lobliner, right? And he said to resolve this situation, I mean, don't quote me on this because it was something similar to that, but he said basically to resolve the situation, what we need right now, we need another fight between Rocky and Drago. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, if you're trying to say something funny, number one, I don't think there is any humor can be involved anytime when it comes to war and human lives lost. I even saw somebody saying, well, not that many Ukrainians died. One died is too many. Just one. And that's enough.
Yeah, an unprovoked attack like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can measure it, one building that is burned, or or a history monument that is destroyed, or something like that. That's enough. Just the fact that you're entering another country, and taking it over and basically trying to install your own government, that's a big no. And I know then somebody actually threw an argument at me and said, yeah, but what about what Americans did with with Iraq? Well, it's not exactly the same. It's not exactly the same. Ukrainians were not murdering their own people, and were not threatening others, and were not fucking bombing Kuwait and threatening world peace and stuff like that. So, although maybe we shouldn't have started the war with Iraq, I mean, I don't want to get deep into politics because that's basically very opinion based. But at the same time, you can't compare the two, not even close. That's not exactly the same thing. But at the end of the day, it's not about dick measurement competition, as I said on my social media. It's not about that. Who did what? It's about, you do not enter another country. You don't try to topple a government chosen by people. You don't try to change it, and you don't try to take it by force. Stay in your own country. Soviet Union is gone. It's gone. That's it. Ukraine is not part of of Russia for the past 30 plus years. Let it go. Let them govern their country the way they want to do it. Whether it's right or wrong, it's nobody's business. We are here from 3 different countries: Poland, New Zealand, and USA. Each and every country has its advantages and disadvantages, but it's not for us to decide. And if we don't like it, we are free to leave, or to vote for somebody else, and hopefully whoever we vote for wins. But that's how democracy is done. We don't enter Poland or New Zealand or USA and try to change the ways just because it's not our way of doing things. That's not how it's done. Yeah. But we could go on and on and on. The bottom line is, it's not about politics, it's about human lives. Yeah. And there is no excuse for war. This could have been avoided and should have been avoided.
Yeah. One last question for you, Robbie, and then we can move on to some cheerier topics. When did you actually come here from Ukraine? In the 90s?
I didn't. I was 13 in 1988, and back then it was just before the collapse of Soviet Union.
Right.
We immigrated from Western Ukraine to Israel. Mm-hmm. So I left in 88 when I was 13, and from Israel I moved to South Africa, and from South Africa I came here.
Okay. All right. That's what I wasn't sure. Sandy was asking me how long ago it was that you lived back there. I said, I think he came to the States.
I visited twice since then. I think I visited once when I was 17, and then I visited one more time, I think roughly maybe 10, 11 years ago.
Okay. Shane, when are you heading to the States?
By the way, hello, Shane.
What's up?
Lord Babyface, are you heading to the States anytime soon?
3 days, 2 days. Hence why I don't have anything here, and my computer setup is what I will be using when I am on the go.
Now that's the house, your house in New Zealand. That's the house you own, right? You're not just in an Airbnb right now, correct?
No, we own this, but we have to get everything out because we're renting it out while we're gone.
Gotcha. Are the new tenants going to enjoy the gold sink?
I mean, I fucking hope so. It looks pretty nice, but yeah. So we have to move everything out. I have jack shit left.
Shane, how does it work? Do you have to lease it for like a year, or how does it work, like in terms of like renting it out?
We rented it out for like 6 to 9 months, which was obviously a shitty time frame. But we found someone, and fortunately, she was like, "Oh, you can keep, like, it would be helpful if you can keep some stuff in here, so I don't have to move too much."
Yeah.
But my giant desk was one thing that needed to go. So, yeah.
Okay. Alex, the Canadian Ukraine Foundation is asking for donations. Anyone in Canada, please go donate. Lucas, who's winning the Arnold?
Probably Arnold, because there is nobody left to compete.
Yeah.
Have a bunch of people dropped out? I haven't been keeping up with it as much.
Yeah, lots of people drop. Some due to the C word, some due to other aspects, So Shaban is out. He had some spinal cord issues. Nathan Diasha is also out. He has a torn biceps. Cedric is out because he have some health problems. Who else?
The Brazilian guy Brandao.
Oh yeah, Rafael Brandao is also out because he wants to focus on Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the name of the?
Is this roster look correct?
Hold on. Yeah, Akeem is also out because
Akeem Williams.
Yeah, because he was battling, the flu.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched his recent interview with Ron from Muscular Development, and he was describing, that he was knocked out for past week, and he lost 20 pounds, so he decided just to skip the show. The rest should be competing, but we shall see, how's everything turn out. I will say just one thing as far as everyone is saying that Brandon Carey is gonna win this, and due to the statistics and everything, yeah, he should supposed to win. But I honestly, I'm cheering for Brett Wilkin to win the entire thing. I'm a huge fan of the guy, and he just made such a great improvements to his entire physique. So I'm hoping that he's gonna be victorious this upcoming weekend. So yeah, that's my pick.
It'll be interesting. Reagan, it seems like Reagan was big a couple of years ago, and he's just kind of petered off the last couple of years, or gone quieter, because I know he dropped down to Classic for a while, and then he's trying to jump back up to Open. I'm curious to see how he's going to show.
He's now working with Milos Sarcev. So it was a big move for him. He improved his physique, but I saw his recent pictures, and honestly, it doesn't look that good.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that, Lucas, that you bring it up, because I was just about to say it. I saw that they documented pretty much his entire training. There was a lot of footage, and I liked it. It was actually pretty good. They did a good job in terms of I don't know, social media and content. I think it was wonderful. But at the end of the day, what Lucas said, he's right, and I agree with him. I saw like the latest photos. I mean, anything can go, right or wrong, because a week is a long time when it comes to water manipulation and hardening up and stuff like that. So somebody who looks phenomenal can look like shit, and somebody who looks like, average can actually improve a lot in a week. But just based on exactly what Lucas said, the recent photos, I think from yesterday or the day before,
Yesterday.
yeah, I'm sorry, I was not impressed.
Yeah, he looks super flat, and honestly, I know he's on the low carb diet, and he's gonna carb up, but at the same time,
I don't think it's enough.
yeah. But if you can, for example, like check the pictures of like Justin Rodriguez or even Brad, these guys look so shredded.
Right. If we are comparing him, like say for example, from all the guys that posted some pictures or some footage in the last week or so, like the guys that you mentioned, Brandon Curry, there was some footage, I believe, of Wilkin as well. There was some footage of other few guys.
William.
Yeah, William Bonnock posted also something. I mean, and what's his name? Kukla also posted something. Any one of those guys, and again, I don't want like next week people to jump on me and say like, oh yeah, you were wrong. I'm like, I do admit, fuck, maybe Regan's gonna fucking win the whole thing. But based on what I saw, like a week out or 10 days out, he's not beating any of those guys.
No. He doesn't have like slight chance.
Cedric
based on that, no.
Yeah, Cedric is also out here.
Devin, most overhyped ingredient: raspberry ketones or CLA?
Both.
I'd give the edge to raspberry ketones, but recently it seems like CLA is trying to make a comeback because a couple of companies have released some standalone stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, he asked the question if they overhyped, and I agree with you. I also know the CLA popping up in a few different formulas, but I think it's popping up because it's cheap, although raspberry ketone is also cheap. But the fact that it's popping up still doesn't make it good.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's like testosterone and all this stuff. Like everything in the supplement industry is cyclical. We're probably give it another 5 years, we're going to see HMB jump back on the scene. Everybody's going to be throwing that into their fat burner supplements or fasting supplements and stuff like that for its anti-catabolic effects.
Fasting supplements. That's one.
Yeah, but if you think about it, CLA. To be honest with you, I don't even know what the cost of the ingredient, simply because I think that I never asked for it, so I don't know like what it cost. But when you look at the at prices of CLA, even as a standalone, I mean, it's typically what, $20-$25. I mean, I can only imagine that the margins are probably through the roof.
Yeah.
So why not release it?
Yeah, I haven't dug in any of the raspberry ketone research. And just for the listeners out there, raspberry ketones are completely different from the exogenous ketone salts and the keto esters out there. So stuff like DHT salts and the ketone esters, completely different from raspberry ketones. They're not in the same ballpark at all.
Yeah, don't get the name fool you.
Right. And then CLA is naturally occurring in a few foods like beef and dairy. And naturally occurring CLA may have some benefits. The research for megadosing or taking higher doses than what you would obtain from food from CLA supplements is very mixed, with some potentially adverse cardiovascular effects, which I've covered in an article way back in the day. I'll put that in the show notes for anybody that wants to read it. But yeah, that's just something you want to avoid, at least in my opinion, unless there's new research comes out and convinces me otherwise. But for the time being, I would stay away from it.
Based on this subject, what would you say? I mean, maybe it's a question for all three of you. What would you say? Not specific number, but maybe go from 1 to 5, up to you. You would say most overhyped and underrated ingredients. You can name one. I mean, it doesn't have to be a specific number.
overhyped ingredients for fat loss?
No, not necessarily for fat loss. Overall, overhyped ingredient, in your opinion, you can throw 1 or 2 or 3 or 10, and underappreciated. So both.
I'm gonna let Shane go first.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's such a heroic thing to do, to just fucking jump out of the way and nominate someone else who hasn't fucking.
I'm being a gracious host. I've spent more time talking than I probably have the past 3 weeks combined, so I'm letting you have the spotlight since you haven't.
Oh, okay. So you're just
Yeah,
doing
no
what you
specific number of ingredients. You can go with 1.
I'm gonna say I am a big fan of arachidonic acid, and I just don't see it shit all. Like, you barely see it thrown in. I know it's a little bit different of an ingredient, and I would just say purely because it's one of the most effective things that I've had for me, and I can always expect results when I use it, but I don't see it anywhere near enough. As for overrated, I got something, but I don't want to say it because I feel like it might have been something.
Go
for it.
Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be scientific. It can be just personal for you.
Exactly. Remember,
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say it's overrated. I would probably more say that. No, I'm not gonna say that. Let me think more.
Lucas?
All right, Lucas.
I don't know why, but I still think that, underrated is like vodka or like
Vodka? I agree. Vodka is underrated. Is that
yeah,
what you said? You said vodka?
It's a Tasca.
vodka.
Okay, there we go. It sounded like you said vodka at first. I thought I could agree with that.
I don't know why, but I still think that it's super underrated and unappreciated. And I'm super happy that we convinced Shane to start taking it, and he jumped on it. So
To be clear, I used it, but it's not like I probably used it twice, but I'm probably never going to use it again. I mean, it's not that it didn't work. It's just priorities for me. I put a few other things before that.
100%.
But if I were looking for something in that liver health, organ health kind of range, I would be, going Tudka before something else. But it's not something I would add. It just kind of made me shit a lot for the first few days. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
Which is nice, It's nice, but I don't know. I don't know if it would. I don't know if it would like help, because it's meant to obviously help people who have issues in that area. I don't think I have issues in that area, so maybe it didn't really benefit me as much as it could.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie?
I actually will agree with Lucas again on Totka, because I firsthand experienced it myself, and the liver enzymes have never been better since I've used it. Nothing ever worked the way what Totka did is just absolutely incredible. And even though I don't know if I would call it unappreciated or underrated, because I see a lot of people are using it now and it's gaining a lot more popularity. But yeah, perhaps it's still a little bit under the radar. So yeah, Totka probably would win that, because again, there is pretty good evidence that it works, and on top of it, it does work. Like I said, I've seen it with few athletes, and I've seen it with myself when the improvements were within few months. Definitely Totka was responsible for it, and it's something that I use religiously. In terms of overhyped, actually, it's easy for me, because raspberry ketones, CLA, definitely fit that list. I would add, of course, HMB to it, because it just kind of begs to be added to that list. And last but not least, nobody's talking about it today, but about 12, 13 years ago, this was like the hottest thing on the market. It's complete garbage. It's South African Hoodia.
Oh yeah, for the appetite suppression, the cactus extract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
I
exactly.
thought you would say Tribulus.
Well,
There you
the South African Hoodia is actually, I have to thank that ingredient for because of that I own Apollon Gym, because the previous owner of Apollon, when I offered to buy Apollon, he said no to me. But then he got into supplement business, and the only supplement that the only thing he had South African Hoodia as a standalone product, and he believed that it's like the next big thing, and he invested in it. I want to say about at least $250,000, at least. I mean, he had nothing but South African Hoodia. He bought it like for $1 or something like that. His whole basement, I mean, everything was filled with bottles and containers. He got himself a table at the Olympia. He invested a lot of money in it, and obviously didn't move. So he owed people a lot, and just a bad decision. So as a result, he came to me and he said, like, listen, I need the money. I'm gonna sell Apollon. So that's how I got Apollon Gym, because of his bad decision with South African Hoodia.
Overhyped. I'm gonna say beta alanine. It's included in every single goddamn pre-workout, and I don't think most people are actually taking enough of it to derive benefit from it. So they're not taking enough, first of all. Then their method of training, their modality of training, isn't the kind of training that is going to actually benefit from beta alanine supplementation. But you hear there's so many benefits, but unless you're either using high effort output with interspersed with very short rest periods, like a HIIT protocol or sprints on the track or something, or you're supersetting between like a chest and back superset, or you're doing something prolonged, like you're rowing 1,000 meters or something like that, you're not really going to get the benefits. If you're doing 8 to 12 reps, resting 2 minutes, 8 to 12 reps, resting 2 minutes, you're not really getting any benefits from it whatsoever. So that's going to be my overhyped ingredient. It's a useful ingredient, but I think it gets way more buzz than people are actually gaining benefit from it. Underrated ingredients. I'm going to say ginger for anti-inflammatory immune support. Yeah. I'm going to say natural eggshell membrane, NEM, for joints. And neurofactor and BF7, brain factor 7, for nootropics. Those ramp up different peptides in the brain that spin up different things and make your neurons fire more fun. And then lemon balm and saffron extract for stress, mood, and fat loss. There. So I'll put all those out there. Jason Nieves. I just picked up some black tulip. I'm excited to try that. My first Apollon product. Did you use the code Final Scoop, Jason? You could have saved 15%.
Yes, and it's fat.
Big, fat, sweet discount.
Just like this podcast, super fat.
The girthiest, fattiest discount on the planet.
Yep.
Some may say chody discount.
I refer it as chubby little bastard discount.
There you go. Well endowed discount. I was going to pull up. Where is it? Found this interesting. A brand that was dead. Simon says MSM is underappreciated. Yes. You typically need a higher dose of it, like 1 to 3 grams, but that's great for joint support. I pick it up from Natural Body. Does the code work there as well? No. It's only ApollonNutrition.com. Sorry, Jason.
Only I Love Steve works there.
All right, here we go. High Tech brings back EAS. Now, EAS went away a few years ago. I did not realize that High Tech bought them.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
So, as Shane so eloquently elucidates in his story, in 2018, the legacy sports nutrition company, EAS, owned by Abbott Nutrition at the time, made the huge announcement it would stop production and discontinue its entire line of supplements. The news was quite the surprise to many, although fans will soon be able to enjoy many of those EAS products once again, thanks to the manufacturer and brand High-Tech Pharmaceuticals.
This is some of the best writing I've ever seen in my life. Who did this?
It's amazing.
I love when you read Shane's quotes.
Because if you know me, you're like,
You
what the
know,
fuck you doing, Shane?
you put so much heart into it. It's so emotional. Brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Shane, that's the good thing. It's like some of the ghost writing I've done on other brand sites. I'm so glad that nobody knows that it's me that wrote that, because the voice, you look at me and you see the voice that's on those things, and there's such a cognitive disconnect there that it wouldn't make sense.
The crazy thing is that the story that I wrote on when EAS closed, it was like fucking not even 2 paragraphs. It was 4 sentences, really short, because I couldn't really confirm, like, because I wasn't able to reach out to much of anybody. I hit up Abbott. I reached out to a lot of people. I didn't get shit. The only person that I got a response from was Twitter, and they were like, "Yes, we're discontinuing the line," and I was like, "Oh." I'm like, is that all of it? And they're like, yes, we're discontinuing the line. And I was like, I gather you don't want to talk about this, so let's just leave it. And this was real short, but since then, if you go down on that page, you can see the comments. There's just people like from over the years that have just been like asking to, and then there was the talk of a possible EAS return with, I think it was Bill Phillips.
Oh, yeah, the founder of it.
Yeah. And so people were asking about this. So there are some very long time fans of EAS. And so when this thing came out, it was huge. We don't get many comments on the site, mostly because a lot of people don't comment directly on the story. They save it for social. But yeah, it's that EAS one's big.
This is a good comment for you, Shane. Where are you? I love you.
You gotta appreciate the journalism. You gotta say,
Yeah.
This one I actually had to ask Jared. I haven't spoken. I have his contact, but I haven't spoken to him for like not often. Because a lot of his brands, like, we don't really share news on, and his brands, like, they're not that marketing hype. Like, you don't see constant updates on them and teasers and stuff.
Yeah.
He just works his nuts off, much like we were talking about with Blackstone. And so when this came out, I was like, shit, really? So I hit him up. He replied pretty quickly and says, yeah, we acquired the brand, and they've got he's coming out with a product called Betadrine, a fat burner. He named a few others that weren't listed on the site, but those are the ones. The Betadrine, Muscle Armor, and Myoplex are the big ones, obviously, because those are EAS's
flagship products.
Yeah. So he's bringing back names and everything.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. We're just talking about 2 of the biggest overhyped ingredients right there: HMB and glutamine.
But HMB that was introduced under, was that one of EAS's kind of early things, if I remember?
Probably. They were one of the first ones to do it.
I think glutamine might have been too. So
yeah, well, I know the creatine was.
HMB is still a staple in Europe.
Because there's what, Phosphagen was the original one? Was the original
yeah, that's another one. He's probably going to bring them all back, I guess. Yeah. Phosphagen probably not right now because of creatine, but the Myoplex, I was told, they're packaging right now.
Goddamn, got so much brands.
I think he just brings them in and then just...
This was glorious. Back in the day, I tried this. Before, way back, when I was a little pup getting into the supplement industry.
Oh, man. Phenibut
was in there. But I was a rep for Formutech on the bodybuilding.com forums for a little while.
You were?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Oh, that's cute.
I got to try some of this Phenibut, this stuff, because you get a little stipend every month. You get a certain amount of money you can spend on the products, and so I would get some REM 8.0. I got some of that. I tried some of the iForce stuff back in the day too. That was when I first tried Hemovol or the Hemovo 2 Max.
Yeah, this stuff was good.
Yeah, Remit's like a less potent form of Somatamax from High Tech. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Somatomax. I still got a top here unopened.
Yeah, it's good stuff. What's in there?
Big
Liver aid.
tab. Yeah.
ALA, milk thistle, NAC, dandelion, stinging nettleroot, and SAM-E. That's not bad. I mean, the dosages could obviously stand to be higher, but the ingredient selections is not bad on its own. I don't think you're getting much of anything from this proprietary support blend right here.
Maca. Mm.
Yeah, Maca. I mean, you need 2 to 3 grams worth, and you're getting.
At least.
Yeah. Robbie, can you quiet the rat down, please? Glucosamine, philodendron. No thanks.
By the way, we are on a high-tech subject. You guys saw their release, the newest release, I believe, is Testosterone 21.
Turkesterone 21?
No, Testosterone 21, the product is called. It's a combination of Fadugia and Long Jack. I don't know if it's listed on the site right now, but it's with new label.
And you said testosterone 21?
Yes.
I've always had trouble keeping up with.
Try to Google
High
it up. Maybe you will find it that way. Because
Okay,
Best
so-
Price Nutrition already announced that they will calculate it.
Oh, there
Yep.
you go.
That's the one.
Fadoja and Long Jack duo.
Yeah, I like that combo.
Dosages. 1,200 milligram Fadoja has been shown to stage increased levels of testosterone. Okay. But where's the label? How much are you giving me? Okay, so you got the actual 1,200 milligrams.
Yeah.
400. All right. Long Jack. 400 milligrams of that. That's usually dosed anywhere from what?
300.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tomcat's what, like 100 to 300 usually.
Yeah.
600 of KSM. That's a good dose. The zinc. Yeah. I'm actually surprised. This is actually a pretty decent.
Yeah, I really like
profile.
it. Yeah. Once I saw it, I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, for hormone support, this is actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
Because usually it's a big steaming pile of prop blend crap.
Yeah, and you can, like, for example, add it to your, like, I don't know, test booster or something like that, you know, just like, or even like your PCQ, something just like just, you know, speed up the recovery or something. So that's a pretty decent one.
Yeah, good catch, Lucas. I do like this. So for anyone looking for a natty option, that could work.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in this subject, like, check out the Huberman podcast. He was talking a lot about these 2 ingredients, so definitely give it a listen.
$650 milligram blend of Uzbekistan Ajuga turkistatica extract.
This is the one that I sent you on a group chat.
Tablet. Well, they got the beta cyclodextrin in there, so that should help with absorption to a certain extent. I'm still not a big believer in them, but then I've never used it myself, so you know I'm speaking purely from the research side of stuff. Chiming in to say hello, happy birthdays and positive thoughts from the one and only Brooke.
Thank you, Brooke.
Hi, Brooke, from Alex. Muscle and Bones, about how much Phenibut is in the formula, if you know. In Somatamax, it's upwards of 3 grams. In the Somatamax blend, I'm sorry, in the REM 8.0 from Formutech, I think it's about 1 gram because it's only 3 or 4 gram entire scoop. So the first ingredient's phenibut, and there's 7 or 8 other things after that. So it's probably between 500 to 1,000 milligrams if I had to ballpark it. The flavor is actually pretty good too, the black cherry flavor. Can y'all discuss if sugar insulin response impacts the absorption of ingredients? All I've seen is creatine and sugar. Gents?
Fucking love Celtic.
The original creatine dextrose combo. I mean, insulin is one of the primary nutrient shuttling hormones in the body. You take anything in the post-workout phase, you've got heightened insulin sensitivity, you've got low glycogen stores, so that's prime in the body for it to absorb anything and everything. You know, protein turnovers increase, you've got increased protein breakdown, reduced protein synthesis. So, yeah, it's for a lot of things, combining them with sugar or combining them with a meal will enhance their absorptions. So any kind of multivitamin, you don't want to take that on an empty stomach. I think even something like turmeric, I don't know if even you want to take that on an empty stomach, because that I think has been shown to be better absorbed when taken alongside of a meal as opposed to by itself.
Food, high fat.
Yeah.
But Celtic fits.
So much aggressive hellos. I like it.
I mean, Celtic worked for me, but I was like 18, 19, 20 at the time. Almost anything would have worked, but
Probably so.
I feel like it was one of those things. Creatine has worked fine by itself, and post-workout carbs have been like my savior for, I don't know, 12 years.
Yeah.
So you're combining two things that are gonna fucking do something in the one product. I did not gain whatever the 10 pounds of muscle or whatever it was in 28 days. I tried. Didn't happen for me.
You weren't bulking aggressively enough. You needed to use 1,000 calorie surplus.
Back in the days when I was working at a supplement store and we had the Celtic, it was
the boxes.
Yes.
Oh man, that was the best.
Yeah, man. And it was always delivered straight to to the glass container with the key, so people can just look, not touch it.
That's the bougie shit. You
Yeah,
know
man.
you're buying a lot. You know you're paying good money when I've seen people put tubs, little capsules in boxes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else put a giant 2-pound tub in a fucking box for presentation purposes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything like that since. That's not an easy thing to do.
Muscle Tech advertisements back in the days, man. That was something.
And
Simpler
they did
time.
the SX7, if you remember, the plastic container, and you can see the bottle through makes it look like glass. Damn.
Brooke, if the price of creatine could go down, it would be much appreciated. It would. I'm sure for the supplement companies out there. I bought the giant ass tub of NutriCost's creatine last year. I bought 2 or 3 of them when they had a restock, so I'll be stocked up on creatine for a good little while.
I like creatine, but I don't use it all that often, to be honest.
Did you guys saw the newest research on creatine as far as cognitive functions?
Yeah, I've been saying that for a little bit. That is also a
So
good nootropic.
I was listening to Anthony Galpin recent podcast, and he was talking about the microbiome, but not in the gut, but in the brain. And and he talked how creatine impacts the brain and the brain function and so on. And soon, or probably it's already getting done that that creatine is gonna be this holy grail of supplements that will like have impact on basically everything, from building muscle up to like gut health to brain function and so on. So it's something that everyone should think about, supplementing.
Agreed.
Yeah, especially vegans. Shout out vegans.
Do you guys remember storm and shock therapy combo?
Of course.
I have no idea.
Universal nutrition.
Yeah.
No, it was probably before I really got into supplements.
Oh, bro, that was like a classic combo back in the days. I don't remember. I think shock. Yeah, shock was like you took it pre-training and storm post-training. They were based like on also on creatine. It's like complex stacks. And I remember I sold so much of that stuff. Man, that was just
Lukasz, they don't make it anymore?
Yeah, they make it still.
Shock therapy pre-workout pump.
Yeah, it's still probably one of go-to people.
Wow, that's a big ugly prop blend. Good lord.
Yeah. But what can you expect? It's the old school, stuff.
Yeah. Good.
I don't think it was even reformulated.
I think that it's in Europe it still sells well, right, Lukasz?
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
It's
Just like NO from ESN.
Yeah. Is it cheap?
Yeah, it's not that expensive.
Good grief. Okay.
But you know how it works. If people stick to something and they see that it works, and it has good opinions, then everyone jumps on it and just sticks to it and don't want to change their product, even if on the market you will have so much better options, but they will still say Shark is the best.
Where is Storm? What is the profile on Storm?
I'm sure you can find it.
I wonder if we'll find Eric's. Since we're on the animal forums, if we'll find Eric Schwartz's old posts on here. Animal Storm. Let me just look up this. All-in-one creatine formula. You can build quads like this with Storm.
This is the new label.
Okay.
Try in the graphics.
One gram tricreatine malate, 750 milligrams dicreatine malate, 500 milligrams creatine monohydrate, 250 magnesium creatine chelate, 400 taurine, 250 betaine. Yikes. Okay.
Probably beat that formula.
I don't think I can.
Alpha-lipoic acid. I don't know if that's supposed to be glucosamine, the leukotrienamine. I don't know if that's, or glutamine maybe. One of those two. Anyway,
Lukasz, what would you say is the most popular or best-selling American brand in Europe?
That's a tough one, I would say Cellulcore.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
And probably, but it's not like US brand. I say like Glandia entirely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't think of Celicour, to be honest. I was going, which route? I was going more towards Universal, Optimum, BSN. I want, those legacy brands.
honestly, yeah, Universal is popular, but it's expensive, and especially now due to the inflation prices and so on, I've noticed that like not many people are like buying the packs. But back in the days, like Animal Pack, for example, it was like a staple. Everyone was buying it, and it's still popular. I'm not saying that it's not, but the people are like trying to get like more affordable options. But if we're focusing just like on pre-workouts, then I would say that like the BSN, so an Explode is popular. What else? The Cellucor or those kind of things.
There is the answer.
We speak his name and he appears. The great Eric Schwartz. Storm and Shock Therapy was Universal's copy of No Explode and BSN's creatine. Outstanding. Thanks for the clarification, Eric. We appreciate it. Justin, so many TikTok videos of people saying to not take creatine. I don't know. Anybody that gets their supplement information from TikTok, I feel sorry for them. Talking about hair loss and bloating.
I mean, bloating, I heard. Water retention, I heard. Kidney damage, I heard. Hair loss, I've never heard.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well,
That's
You
another
ever heard
myth.
about it?
That's another myth because there's one old study that showed there was a mild elevation in DHT.
Yeah.
And then so DHT is correlated with male pattern baldness and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, clearly two of us are using creatine, aren't they?
It's I would say that what that's what's so dangerous I think about this is that this information that comes from like places like TikTok or whatever, it doesn't really matter. People saying things that are absolutely not true, and sharing information that can be actually harmful. That's dangerous because everybody has it's not even an opinion. It's more like um, there's no data, no research, no nothing. But somebody decided, it's an urban legend, and they're gonna come out and say something stupid, and then unfortunately it's gonna pick up. It used to be about steroids, which is okay. I understand. I mean, there are certain dangers, but when it comes to supplements, you come out and you say bullshit like that. I mean, it's actually scary if you think about it.
Voonrent. Whatever that means.
So my reason against creatine.
Robert, can you pull formula from Gym High? The pre-workout is called the Stacker.
The Stacker?
I
Yeah.
like the name.
STACKER. Stacker. Gym High.
And what brand is it?
Gym High.
How do you spell that? GYMHIGH?
Yep.
American?
No.
Come on, it's Lucas.
The tab looks like this.
What does it look like? I can't see. Show me again. Okay, that's Stacker. All right, here we go.
Is it Polish?
That's not it, is it?
You
It's
gotta go to the,
It's
you
a
gotta go to
brand.
the dark corners of the web for Lucas's stuff.
It's a brand that is owned by my friend. And
Oh, there it is.
and it's arrived to my doorstep this week. And I tried it like already 2 times. Let me know what you think about the formula.
3.2 beta-alanine, 2 grams tyrosine. We're off to a good start there. 500 PEA, some feel-good stuff. I like it. 350 caffeine, solid. 300 solid. 250 CDP choline, good there. 200 milligrams cocoa butyrol. Yeah, there's not an identified dose for that anywhere in like 50 to 300 milligrams for that. Well, yeah. GBB. Theanine, I'd prefer that not being there, but it's a low dose, so.
I'm surprised, Lucas. Where's the
Yeah.
where's the hard drugs?
Hordenine, Boronacid.
You're expecting like DMHA, DHA, and so
Oh
on.
yeah, you were like, look this one up, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's a fairly balanced pre-workout. You got some tyrosine and CDP choline in there for the neurotransmitter
straight.
support and focus.
Is the goal of it to be stackable? Because the name to me makes it sound like it's something they've designed to be like the stacker. Like you can put more on, because it doesn't really like it's not juice. It's not like loaded. It's
I think they right now have only this product in their line. But Marek, who is the owner, sent it to me, and he was like, try it out. I know they have like 2 flavors. I've got green apple, and honestly, this shit is pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
Clean,
it's
nice.
solid all around. I would try it.
Clean, nice energy. You don't have any this fucking buzz or anything like that, and it's smooth. And it kicks in like 10 minutes. It gives you this happy vibes. I think it's due to the PEA. And the pumps are really solid. I train.
I was about to say that. I was like, I don't see any pump ingredients outside of maybe the Himalayan salt, but
Yeah, the cocoa butyrol maybe could help with a little bit of blood flow, but I mean that's about it.
I don't
So
mean.
if I had
But
to
if
say
I,
something, that's where it's probably missing is the
Yeah,
pump kind of stuff.
that's the thing. When I was looking at the formula, I was like, it was pretty simple. It's nothing. It's nothing like super complex or anything like that. But it works. It really works. As far as like the flavor, that I don't give a shit, about the flavor system and so on. But I will keep the tab, so when you come, you will have
I was literally about to say, I was like, if someone gave this to me, I don't know if I'd take it, because I would feel like I wouldn't be getting a good workout in, or as good as I could from like something else. But
yeah, that's what
what
I'm saying.
what you should have brought up was dedicated, because I know you know something, and I know you're not telling me. But
Yeah. I can't say anything because my nut's gonna get hurt, so I don't want to
yeah, check it out. Go to Stack, Robert. They got something coming.
I saw that. I did.
Which is important because they haven't done anything for a year and a half. Which obviously with the pandemic going on, I understand. But this is coming from the brand that made Unstoppable, and that still to this day is my like the number one pre-workout I've ever had course through my veins. That was some ridiculous shit. And they did win Brand of the Year one year too.
Hey, by the way, just say here live on the podcast that I didn't say shit. Otherwise, I got fucking sued, and who's gonna kill me.
Yeah, Lars, if you're listening, Lucas told me everything.
Before we move on to the next topic, I came across this fun study yesterday, and I sent it to Shane.
Yeah, French fries.
French fries. I feel this is right up Shane's alley. And
Coincidentally, I had French fries last night.
Yeah, I was eating a burger and fries when I was actually reading the study while I was working at a restaurant. It's French fried potatoes consumption and energy balance, a randomized controlled trial. Main takeaway. No significance in fat mass or glucoregulatory biomarkers after 30 days of French fry consumption versus almonds. Results do not support a causal relationship between increased French fry potato consumption and negative health outcome studies. So they gave them calorie-matched amounts of almonds or French fries. Regular French fries or French fries with herbs and spices.
My only downside to this, and forgive me, because I like science, right? And this makes sense. But for me, I'm never gonna go to McDonald's and get a burger with a side of almonds, okay? And I can tell you right now that I'm gonna put away much more French fries than I am going to be putting away almonds on any occasion. But if you sat there and were like, oh, here's your... Because almonds, like... I'm just not going to eat fuck all of it. I'm never going to overeat and be like, oh man, I'm so fucking full. Give me more almonds. No, I'm never going to do that. And if you got fries, I'm going to put those things away until like I'm already shitting them out, right? Plus you got sauce on top of that, and no one eats fries without soda, or no one eats fries without a burger. I like the study showing that it says healthy as almonds, but I feel like you needed to gauge how many fries people eat on average versus how many.
Well, yeah, that shows like assuming you are maintaining good levels of physical activity, you're not grossly obese, overweight, or anything, and you're eating within an otherwise reasonably healthy diet. Having some French fries isn't going to kill you.
Yeah. I think that the issue is with most foods is like if I had my post-workout shake and I was like, oh, you can have a bit of French fries in there. Okay. Yeah. But French fries are fucking delicious and I'm going to want to eat like a whole
basket of
American large, right? So that's where I feel like the problem is.
Moving on, The Rock. Highly popular ZOA energy drink.
I had to hunt this formula down, man. This was not easy to find. Because he's not launching until March 1st.
Well, we come to you, Shane, when we want cutting edge news. Bleeding edge news.
Just so no one gets mad at me, I didn't steal it. It's on Amazon Canada's out of stock list. Just so anyone... So I didn't take it. It's out there. I just had to hunt it down.
What are our thoughts on the formula, guys? Compared to, I guess, other RTD carbonated beverages. So let's put it in that view. Let's not compare it to powdered pre-workouts because there's not going to be a comparison between carbonated beverages or RTDs or powdered pre-workouts. So I guess let's view it from that context. How does this stack up against other RTDs and energy drinks on the market?
I mean, what, you got like handful you can compare it to, really?
I mean, you could compare this to something like a Bang if you wanted to, or Ghost Energy.
No, I see. I have energy category and then I have performance category. Mm-hmm. C4 energy, C4 ultimate energy. Like Bang is more of a anytime energy drink. This is built specifically for you to have before your workout. No one's taking this, wake them up in the morning, right? And there are very few energy drinks out there that take that stance where they say on the back, take before exercise. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this is just one of those things. Like, it's better than nothing. But if you can get a pre-workout, shit, you just can't jam that many ingredients that you would get in a powder pre-workout in a carbonated beverage. It is impossible for them to even be close. Yeah. Based purely on that, because you can't put 10 grams of citrulline in here, you can't put all the fucking solid ingredients. So it is technically impossible to make them equal. But
do you think that he called it pre-workout?
I call it a pre-workout drink because it's more designed. Because I would rather people know that they need to take it before their workout than wake up in the morning and he's clearly made it. It's called a pre-workout. That's what the drink is called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My big issue is what the hell? What?
Do you think it's accurate that he called it that?
Yeah. Way? I mean, anything. If you've designed it and you tell people to take it before a workout, it's a fucking pre-workout. If you give me a box of almonds and you say for the workout, that's dumb, but okay, it's pre-workout.
So hold on. So now when you add to your energy drink, let's say a gram of citrulline, a gram of betaine, a gram of beta-alanine, you can call it a pre-workout?
No. I mean, it's if whatever the guys designed it to do, like it would be. Because how do I explain it?
Yeah, but
like
can you see my point?
Oh yeah, but you can arguably say that if you aminos, for example, you could have all 9 EAAs, and you could put it in intra workout and give it some electrolytes, and now it's an intra workout. But you could also just put EAs, the electrolytes by themselves, and say it's an all day amino.
Yeah,
They're very
but
different.
I think I see Lucas's point, and I think I see what he's saying. But the truth is just I'm going to actually disagree on this. I'm going to disagree on this because just because somebody says it's a pre-workout or releases something that he says that it's a pre-workout does not make it a pre-workout, because now we are talking basically the same thing as, like, I identify myself as a woman. Well, I'm not a woman, I'm a man, so it's actually a very, very thin line of, like, just the brand's or the owner's perception of what he thinks he is. So yeah, Lucas is right. I mean, if I'm going to come up with a pre-workout, or at least I'm going to claim that it's a pre-workout, but my pre-workout is going to fucking contain, I don't know, fucking I don't know, brain chain amino acids mixed with some protein powder. I mean, and I'm saying, well, it's a pre-workout, and we've seen those formulas. That does not make it a pre-workout. So just because a brand positions a certain product and says that it is, it does not mean that it's actually what what it's supposed to be. So I think the ingredient profile, maybe not the dosages so much, because we've seen that the dosages can be all over the place. We've seen most brands still underdose crap. I would say like 90% are underdosed, but it doesn't mean that it's actually solid. But the ingredient profile will make the product what it is, and not necessarily what the brand owner intends it to be. And we've seen it before many, many, many times. So Lucas is right.
And The Rock referred it to a game changer.
Yeah, right.
He used.
Did he?
Yeah, I sent the video on.
Yeah, he did.
And he refers it as a game changer, which I don't understand why he used this term, because it's not a fucking game changer.
That's marketing. I mean, he knows how to sell shit. That's the only reason he's saying that. He's not being truthful.
I don't think that he knows how to sell shit. I think that just because of his name, everything is selling pretty good. Because I mean, let's face it, it's The Rock, and people will buy his fucking used underwear just because it's The Rock. So it does not mean that it's good marketing. It's just that his name carries a certain weight, and it's easy to sell. So I mean, kudos to him for having such a strong name that is able to sell pretty much anything. That is fantastic from a business perspective, because if you're investing money in The Rock's brand, you're pretty much guaranteed that it's going to pay off. I mean, that's how many of his movies have actually flopped? Not many, because the guy is he has a very strong presence, and he has a very strong following, and his popularity is through the roof. So I think anything that he touches, he can fucking call this bottle of water that has nothing in it. He can say that it's a pre-workout, and guess what? He can even say that it's a game changer, and it will sell. But
he does sell water, doesn't he?
What's that?
Voss, he's part of Voss. He does sell water.
I'm not saying I'm not saying water. I'm saying that if he called it a pre-workout, people would actually buy it as a pre-workout. So he can sell anything, and that's pretty fantastic, because we have great products that are not selling so well just because there is no somebody like The Rock behind it. But at the end of the day, it's like movie critics. Sometimes you're going to have a movie critic that actually can break down the movie plot and the directing and then acting and everything, and he's going to do such a fantastic professional job, and he's going to say, like, listen, on all accounts this is shit, but then nevertheless it's going to be a still blockbuster, because it has The Rock or something like that. So I think that there's like a very fine line that I don't think we are seeing. A lot of people are not seeing. Just because somebody says something does not necessarily make it good. It's
I see the name Rock, and they already like.
Yeah, absolutely. How many people actually say that ZOA is garbage? How many people? What do you think, that if the four of us think that it tastes like shit, I mean, it's a pretty good indication that it tastes like shit. If one of us or two of us and we would have like mixed feelings about it, then yeah, it's up for debate that, whether it's good or not, it's a personal experience and personal perception. But when four of us say that it's like really probably the worst tasting energy drink on the market, then it's probably true. But how many people will have the balls to come out and say it? We started this with the war in Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia. And I've seen some of the Russians who are going on social media justifying the war because they blindly believe in their president, or they so brainwashed that they will say anything even if it's not true. So the same could apply to supplements as well. You can have somebody who has a huge weight. I mean, even something like Nick Walker. I don't think he has a big pool. I don't think he can sell a lot. Being a bodybuilding star does not mean that he can sell a lot of supplements. And just scrolling, over his social media yesterday, I don't know why I did it, but I was going through his social media because he advertised Hostile and he had like a Hostile t-shirt. And going back like maybe fucking 10 posts, that's all, like 10 or 15 posts, and you see him advertising Raw Nutrition with the same exactly approach, with the same exactly style, with the same exactly everything. So what you're saying is that 15 posts ago or 1 month ago, Raw Nutrition was the best fucking thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden, just because you're not getting paid, now Hostile is the best. I mean, we know it's bullshit. It's just the thing is that, let's face it, Nick does not have the pull. He just doesn't. It's a fact. But The Rock does. And both Raw and Hostile are actually not bad brands. They, in my book, they okay. I won't say that they great, but they okay. But ZOA is complete garbage. I mean, I'm basing it purely on taste, because all it is this, just taste. But The Rock comes and says it's a game changer or best tasting energy drink on the market, and it's enough to sell. And he doesn't base it on scientific evidence like Robert does, but he's going to outsell what Robert does by fucking millions, if not billions, simply because even though between the two, if you have even an ounce of intelligence, you're going to go with what Robert says, not The Rock. But the thing is we have generation of sheep, and they will believe anything The Rock says, and that's very important to identify. So no, you can't position a pre-workout as a pre-workout just because the brand comes out and says it's a pre-workout. Because if pre-workout doesn't have pre-workout ingredients meant for that, then I'm sorry, it's stupid. It's the same thing. You cannot say that shoes are all of a sudden a hat because because the manufacturer says so. So there is something that it's a lot deeper than just saying a brand positions is as a pre-workout. Not enough.
From the formula side of things, it's decent in my mind. It's for where it is and with the space that it's competing in. And it's the fact that it's a celebrity product. I expected much worse. I expected like 500 milligrams of citrulline, 250 of beta alanine. So from that standpoint, I mean it's better among the celebrity released products on the market.
There aren't many pre-workout carbonated drinks that I can think of, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
Like C4 is one. Like most of them stick to that. Even Ghost, as more functional as it is, they don't position that as a pre, and they've got the ingredients that are more nootropic.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that use like the gym that I used to go to when me and CJ were filming all the videos. None of them used pre-workouts. They always just cracked open a bang, chugged that, and then they worked out. So that's what I was trying to say. Like energy drinks are the same thing as pre-workouts for many people.
Yes, and that is my whole thing. That's why I started this subject, because I think that bullshit when brand is positioning energy drink. It has just like a few sprinkles of ingredients that are used in a pre-workout as a fucking pre-workout. It's not a pre-workout. It can't be.
Absolutely. But you see, the thing is, what Shane said, he's right. Ghost has a bunch of ingredients in it that could be positioned as a pre-workout. It has alpha GPC. It has caffeine, obviously. I think 200 milligrams or something like that. So they could, and they don't, and that's the reason why I would not have. I would not criticize them, and I don't, because now, to be honest with you, when it comes to Ghost, I'm basing it solely on the taste, because 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, I believe that's what it is. It doesn't really give me that much of a kick that I feel like, holy shit, I have unlimited energy or anything like that. And alpha GPC, I think they have about 150 milligrams, which also not going to do much. But the ingredients are enough to claim that it's a pre-workout carbonated drink. So you would not blame them that it's not, because it could be positioned as that without absolutely no problem.
Yeah, because for example, for you it's not enough, but for like 20 other people it can be enough.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But at
Yes.
least you know what? At least they're not pushing it as a pre-workout.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
could. But they
Yes,
could.
yes, yes.
And nobody would accuse them. Even I would not accuse them and saying like, okay, guys, your product is kind of weak. What are you doing? Because you're right. For somebody, 200 milligram of caffeine is enough to give them a kick, and they do have pre-workout ingredients. So I just don't obviously appreciate. But I mean, we could go on and on about this. Brands are coming and saying like something that is absolutely not true, but nobody calls them out and nobody says anything. So in terms of pre-workout or not pre-workout, as long as you have pre-workout types of ingredients, you're good to go. You can say whatever you want. But when you don't have what it takes for it to be a pre-workout, just because you say so, doesn't really mean anything. Take Jim Stepani. He has BCAAs as part of his pre-workout. I believe so. I think Jim has it, and I think Caged used to have it, I believe, or something like that. And let's be honest, we know those are not pre-workout ingredients. It's still a pre-workout, don't get me wrong, because it has pre-workout ingredients, but specifically BCAAs have nothing to do with pre-workout. It's going to do nothing for you, absolutely. But if you look at the breakdown, they're actually justifying those ingredients as pre-workout ingredients.
I think I'm just of a different mindset. I call something whatever a brand calls it, but that gives me the opportunity to say that it's a shit pre-workout. Like you said, if it was a pre-workout with protein, I'd be like, yeah, it's a pre-workout, but it's kind of shit if you've just got protein in there.
So if I'm going to call my car a bicycle, you're going to agree with me?
Yeah, that's just how I would. Like if I went to the movies and the movie was a drama and I found it funny, I wouldn't say you should change the category. It's not a drama. It's funny.
Yeah, but it's not a.
But it's just two different people. I go off that just to like you can live like that. I can live like mine.
I'm gonna introduce you to my daughter, and I'm gonna say, you know what? Because I'm responsible for my daughter, and I'm her father. Please meet my son.
Yeah, but see,
it's
but to me, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you introduced her as a daughter and I called her a boy, you might
no. You're saying that the brand or the owner of a product or whatever can introduce it for what it is, for whatever he thinks it is, or presents it as it is, and you say that you're gonna perceive it as is. So again,
no.
My daughter is a boy.
Sorry,
I should mean she's a boy. And if I'm going to give you a tub of my protein, I'm going to say, Shane, you know what? On the label, I'm actually going to put that my protein, my egg protein is a pre-workout. You can't say that it's a pre-workout.
Sorry, I feel like I've miscommunicated here. I'm not saying that that's what I think it is. Like if you give me a protein and you say, this is mostly for stack purposes. If you release a pre-workout and it's protein and aminos,
yeah, now I see.
I'll say it's a pre-workout. But personally, that's not a pre-workout.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm just saying on the official sense, like if someone like the Lukasz pre-workout, the one that he showed before. I mean, it might be good, but I'm not probably going to take that. I'm not going to buy it. Like I would describe things
but you have to agree
that
it has pre-workout ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like if someone came to me, much like you said, if you gave me a protein and you'd be like, "This is a pre-workout," I'd be like, "Okay, this is Apollon's pre-workout." I don't think it's much of a pre-workout. It's more of a protein. I more of describe things how the brand says, and then I will give my perception. I'm not going to refer it to. Yes. Yeah, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I believe whatever the brand says. I'm meaning that. I guess if The Rock came out and said
the message of what they're claiming it to be,
and then I will tell you, like The Rock's pre-workout drink. I think it's pretty pre-workout-ish as much as you're going to get in a carbonated drink. My only issue, and this is something we didn't mention, I'm very curious how this tastes, because if they had trouble masking natural caffeine, this is going to be a whole lot different.
When is it launching?
March 1st.
Is it again
next Tuesday?
Only GNC or Vitamin Shop or everywhere?
Well, I found that on Amazon, and it's on their site, and I believe I found a page on their site. It's not there anymore, I don't think. It's $40 for 12 cans. So you'll be able to buy it from their site, but you have to buy the whole case. That's the only downside.
Oh, so they didn't announce exclusivity that it's going to be only in like select retailers or something.
To be fair, though, when they launched last time, they launched on a date, and then that day they said that you can get it at GNC. So that might be the case. I don't know. But
It's strange because it's so close. I remember that last time it was like a few weeks ahead of time, and now
no, last time he did pretty much. I mean, he had a teaser like 2 weeks out, and then a week out he said it launches on this day. He's done similar this time around, but the teaser came start of this week.
So what you're saying is you had absolutely no knowledge about this coming, say, like a month ago.
Someone told me about it 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and it was like but I don't know how they got the picture. So I'm assuming, I don't know, someone must have slipped it out there on Reddit or something. But I'd just be curious how this tastes. It just would, because again, if the regular ZOA was a challenge to flavor.
Yeah, this one's gonna be.
This one, I mean, you could play it off and be like, it's more complex, so it doesn't taste as good. But if this doesn't taste as good as the regular ZOA, I mean, shit.
But on the other hand, like two things. Number one, I mean, I don't know the sales, but I would assume that ZOA is selling pretty well because again, it's The Rock. And number two, if they didn't give a fuck, and clearly they didn't, about the taste in the first one, why would they give a fuck about this one?
Well, someone told me that their new flavors, the white peach, and I think it's tropical punch or fruit punch, they said they are slightly better. He was probably being nice, but they were slightly better. So they might have tweaked some things. And as from what I know, when they launched those 2 new flavors, they discontinued 2 of the sugar flavors, or 1 of the sugar flavors. So they kind of get the sense that they're moving into the sugar-free direction.
A white peach is sugar-free?
Yeah, so the new flavors, they only released in sugar-free. They didn't do sugar versions, which I think is interesting because people told me the sugar one was better than the sugar-free. I only ever had the sugar-free. I didn't, I'm like, if you can't make a sugar-free taste good, call Ray's, call someone.
Anybody.
Because a lot of people can do it. But I'm still curious how this one is going to taste. And it's low calorie.
The flavors are brand new, or is it flavors of the energy ones?
All new flavors, but they're very complex. Like I think one of them's like a multiple fruit flavors. So I guess you could play it off. Like I don't know, they might give you that perception that they hit you with multiple flavors, and you kind of forget it tastes odd. I don't know. It might taste phenomenal. I'm not exactly.
You know what I feel
excited.
Guilty about the most is the fact that I will buy them.
Oh, I'm gonna buy them too. I'm not gonna feel guilty. That's just because that's the problem. It's even though he's got more active ingredients and it'll be more effective from different angles compared to the first drink. If this doesn't taste that good, I mean, I just don't know how you can keep rolling out poor tasting drinks.
Over $3 a can, 12 cans of caffeine mud water. I mean, you're getting an effective dosage of citrulline in there, so it's not just caffeine and water.
I mean, if you can justify the regular ZOA energy drink, this is not too much more of a leap.
Yeah.
It's what?
I'm not going to buy them.
$2.50 a can.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll buy them.
Yeah, please do. You can swing by and just drop some off at the house while you're in the States. It's an easy enough journey. It's only a couple hours.
We've already been through this. I'm not driving a couple of hours for you.
Well, here, you land in Columbus. You drive down. I'll meet you up, and we'll drive up. We'll meet in Arkansas or something like that.
This is all given because me and Nikki have to pass our COVID test on Tuesday. That's so we're kind of torn. We're like, yeah, we get to go, but we're like, we might not get to go. We might test positive. But we've got the rat test, I think they're called, where you like at home thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got one, and we've been testing one of us each day. Negative so far. I stopped going to the gym. I'm gymming at home for the next 5 days. This is how much I don't want to fucking catch it.
Yeah.
Because our cases went from whatever the fuck they were of 0 or 10 to like 12,000 a day. And my city's not very big. And I was like, oh shit, man. So we're just keeping away from everyone, staying clear, and yeah, get there Wednesday. Well, your Wednesday.
Not Wednesday, yeah.
How far is the airport from you?
Oh, it's the other side of town. It's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Oh, so it's not that bad.
Oh, yeah. I should preface our town's not very big. Our city's not very big. You can drive from one side of it to the other in about 45 minutes.
Last call for any comments or questions from the peanut gallery before we put a bow in this package and send that out the door. Any plans for your birthday, Lucas? Do you have like a meal, special meal that you always like to eat on your birthday, or dessert or anything like that? Or any other traditions?
Bro, you know I'm having meat. Probably my cake filled out of meat. But besides that, nah, I'm not gonna have any plans. My very good friend, super close friend, basically like I treat him like my brother. He lives in UK. And every year he comes at the exact same time,
No.
just because his father passed away close to my birthday, so he always cemetery just to show appreciation to his life and so on. And he always visits me, that time, and so we probably gonna catch up tomorrow, just like chat around, hang out for a couple hours, because he's probably gonna go back to UK on tomorrow or probably Monday, something like that. So yeah, shout out to Andrew.
I was going to ask if it's Andrew. I remember that guy.
Of course, man. Of course, man. So yeah, and besides that, I have no other plans. Hope the weather's gonna be good, so I'll be able just just take a quick stroll, do my 50K steps. Yeah, exactly, man.
You do 50K a day?
Yeah.
Fuck me, no wonder you're eating so many carbs. Jesus Christ. I do like 8, maybe 6 if I'm lucky.
I got a treadmill in my house. That's why.
You could put 3 treadmills in my house. I ain't using them.
I average between 13 to 15 a day. Every now and then
What
I'll
the
get up.
fuck are you
20,
guys
22.
doing? What the shit?
Shit, 55 is a lot.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because I remember how much it was when I hit 30,000 one time when we were snowed indoors during the winter apocalypse a year ago, and I hit 30,000 on that day.
Bro,
Let's see
still,
how,
Pacing
let's
around
see
the
how
house.
many I've done on the
I'm
week.
gonna tell you, till like 12. Let's say 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm averaging around like 25 to 30,000 steps a day. So when I woke up at 6, I always,
I'm at 8,833 right now, if that wants to focus.
What do you do all day? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, I woke up this morning, I went walking around the neighborhood for about 30,
Oh,
40 minutes. And then I'm just up around, like, I went
What?
to the
Wait.
grocery store.
Why did you walk around the neighborhood for 40 minutes?
Because I was up at 6:15 and nobody else was.
I might get up at 6:15. I'm not gonna go walk outside. I'm gonna put on TV.
It was 34 degrees outside too when I went walking, so that was nice. I enjoy it. I'll listen to a podcast and I just go strolling. It helps get some of the mental machinery.
Robic, you're not like this, are you? You're not.
No.
Like, okay, thank God. I don't want to go stay with someone who's just like, hey, Shane, I got a spare hour. You want to go for a fucking hike? No. What's wrong with you people? I've done so far today. Okay, given that it's 10 in the morning, I've done 400 steps.
What time did you wake up?
Like 7:30.
So what does your day consist of? You got out of bed. You went to the bathroom, probably maybe brushed your teeth, fixed breakfast, and then you just
Get out of
the
bed.
next 3 hours?
Typically, I get out of bed, I eat, I do some. I get out of bed, I do some work, I eat, do some more work, go to the gym, and do like 20 minutes of cardio. Depends how hard it was for the workout.
Yeah.
Maybe 30, And then I come home, do a bit more work, and have lunch, play with Ava, do some housework, get back to work, have dinner, work, eat, go to sleep. My average is 6,000, 7,000 steps. So Lucas does more than me in a day by 13,000 steps. What the fuck?
It's a lot. Brooke, thank you for the stream. Thank you for always tuning in, Brooke, and for everyone else that chimed in and submitted comments and interacted with us.
You see my steps?
Hold on, we're gonna. Whoop. Hold on, let me swap that. There we go.
There we go. 400. Oh, that's today. 3,800 yesterday. 8,000 on Friday. I had a big Wednesday. I did 11. Shit, what was I
You were
doing that
exhausted.
day?
You should have carved up that day.
That's good. That can't have been my rest day. Yeah, none of these are over 10. Barely any of them are over 10. No wonder you motherfuckers can eat carbs like out your ass, because you fucking...
You're moving around all the time.
You're lapping. You could, if you did that many steps, you would be at the other end of my country, probably. Okay?
I don't know. See
Absurd. That's absurd.
Oh, there you go.
59,
What the shit?
1,000, 57, 58, 57, 56.
Is this like an inch and centimeters thing? Like we convert Polish steps and more?
Every 3 Polish steps is 1 American step.
Yeah, is this one of those things? I'd like to think it is.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm not close.
Myself. Brooke, the test really amount to a hill of beans. The CDSO is so flip-floppy on the validity of them.
Yeah, but the test is we have to get it like certified by a lab on our end, and then they let us on the plane to go to you, and then we have to give that certification to the American airport. So we have to validate it with New Zealand for them to let us on the plane, and then we get to your side. And which is weird because Ava has to get tested negative too.
I'm just going to shake my head. Alex, Lucas is in better shape than all of us.
Yeah, because he walks fucking... That's what he does. It's his job. He walks all day.
He walks.
If I walked all day, I wouldn't walk 55,000 steps. I can guarantee you. That's ridiculous.
Simon says, Robbie, have you shortlisted ideas for the sleep aid yet? I guess as
Oh,
far
it's
as
already
he's meaning
done.
the names of it. I think he means the names.
Oh, the names. Yeah, we did.
Okay. ETA for release?
Can you say like three examples of the best names that you had to choose from?
I have to go to that list, to be honest with you. There are a couple of good ones. Yeah, a couple of good ones. But I think probably May release.
May?
May, June, yeah. So we're releasing the intra workout in March.
Mm-hmm.
Then the multivitamin is done, so that one probably around May or June, something like that. It's pretty much every month something. And Hooligan is still on track for April release.
Guys, think
I'll tell you
about the
what.
distance he walked for.
My favorite name I think I've ever seen was a German brand, Bitch Slap. I'm trying to think they had a product called Bitch Slap.
It's funny.
I had somebody who suggested a very, very similar name, but I will tell you when we get off air because that's a bit of a dilemma. I really like it.
Yeah, there was someone who came out with a whole bunch. It was,
The name is already confirmed or still no?
Hmm?
The name is already confirmed and accepted?
Oh, no.
Oh, here you go. So it's the brand. It was German. It's called BAM. They had Bitch Slap and a pump pre-workout called Pump That Bitch.
I actually like it. It's pretty cool.
You gotta love these, and don't forget the Swedish brand. It's what's that one called? Is it Fuck Yourself Up? What is it?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I saw it. It's actually very popular in Thailand.
Just think about it. You were talking with your mom and you're saying, I pumped that bitch today.
Oh, That's right. The Swedish one. I am fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
The
it.
original.
We just got it in stock. So it's
You
available.
Europeans love your arginine and HMB, but damn, do you have some cool names? I'll tell you that.
It's Swedish.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but Europe as a whole, like you
Yeah.
guys love your amino tablets and your weird fucking
Oh, yeah.
ancient arginine, but like when it comes to names, you're like, who gives a shit?
Fucking liver tablet.
Swap the vowels for some stars, and no one's gonna care.
Justin, Jocko's Go drinks are by far our best seller. Terrible formula. They taste awful. But people buy it because of who it is. We hardly
I haven't
sell
had-
any Ghost, Bang, etc.
I suppose he's not gonna say where he works.
Hmm?
I suppose he's not gonna tell us where he works.
I believe he owns a supplement store.
Yeah, I've heard the Jocko stuff is crazy popular.
Oh yeah, Jocko is a popular individual. Let's pull up the formula real quick.
If I remember correctly, his pre-workout powder itself is, much to our conversation earlier, it's not much of a pre-workout.
See, I like that. I'm a sucker for Top Gun inspired things, so I like that little logo right there.
Wait, would you buy this before ZOA?
No,
But it's got Top Gun on it.
it does. It does. But I would need, 4 of these. But I would have 2 grams of acetyl L-carnitine if I took 4 of them. This is a woefully underwhelming profile as well. I mean, you got a 1-to-1 ratio of caffeine and theanine. You're losing me right there already.
The funny thing is that even though he's being transparent here, this is probably what people actually have in their drinks when they put them in blends.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of those occasions where we wouldn't be complaining if it was in a blend.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I'm not a fan of this formula.
Look at his pre-workout. That was if I remember correctly, he
This
said
one?
he was trying to fuck it. I'll see if I can find. He came out with it not that long ago.
Go pre-workout Mango Mayhem.
Remember that he came out with it. It was
Yeah, I think this is it right here.
yeah, go Jocko go. Yeah, came out end of last year.
The fuck is the ingredient panel?
There, it is right there in front of you.
That helps.
Zoom in so we can see it. Bro, use your shortcuts, man. Jesus Christ. There we go. There we go.
2500 D-ribose, 5G. All right. 500
'Cause when he's-
citrulline.
When this come out, I was like, oh, he's going to have a chance to kind of... Because like I said, you're not going to be able to put your pre-workout dosages in a carbonated beverage. It's just next
These
to
you
impossible.
did.
But yeah,
These
and I
doses.
was like, oh, maybe he's going to kind of like, not necessarily like redeem himself, but give us what he would put in a powdered pre-workout. And I was like, what the shit? I haven't seen 500 milligrams of citrulline. I mean, maybe in Europe,
Yeah,
you guys can have some. You guys do some stuff, but
this is pitiful.
it's.
It's embarrassing.
Well,
It's bad. It's embarrassing.
I appreciate the transparency, but
Yeah, it's a dog shit formula. It's really bad. It's really bad.
I
This
would
is
actually
occasion?
prefer that it was a prop blend. I would like it more.
yeah. See, this is one of those things where he's calling a pre-workout, but personally, no.
No.
I don't know if I would feel this in many senses.
Yeah, I
in
don't
many
know.
senses.
It's
Fucking
really
newborn would
terrible.
not feel this.
That's really, really, really bad.
But he's got. That was the other thing. Like it wasn't like your even general pre-workout ingredients. It was weird.
Yeah. Eric, the Jocko drinks taste terrible. I like the formula, but they are rough. can't
If
be
this
that hard
was
to
like
make a
a-
good tasting energy drink. There's so many of them. Even like the 50-cent gas station energy drinks, like the Venoms and all those other ones, those are fine. I mean, I don't see how these big name guys can't make a decent tasting beverage.
From what I hear, the some of the huge differences. I remember when I was talking to Jack, and he was saying that he pumps out like hundreds of thousands of cans a day or some shit.
Yeah.
But like, I think when you can anticipate certain things, like when you make a sample of an energy drink, right? I imagine that's very different to when and then it gets put on the line. Like, I don't imagine that what you mix together. Like, let's say I made a slice of cake,
Yeah.
and then I had to make 10 cakes. They're probably not going to taste the same as that slice that I made. And then you make 1,000 cakes, because I've heard some people say that when they do the original test flavors, then they do a test run,
Yeah.
and that run consists of thousands. The flavor is different, and then from the test run to the big run, it's different again. So I've heard that there are some subtleties that can throw things off and change things. So if this is your first time doing it, I can imagine that if you're not prepared or you haven't like anticipated this and that, shit could taste very funky. But once you get like Ghost is like, they've refined theirs pretty well. They've done a good job at tweaking here and there and changing along the way. So they've done a good job. And even though right out of the gate they said it was really, really good, they've obviously done some things to change it, so they know that the areas to improve. But I think just because there are a lot of brands doing it well, I feel like it's probably incredibly difficult to get right.
All right, gents. We're through all the comments. Any closing thoughts?
Thank you all for birthday wishes.
Happy birthday. Happy 31st birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm still young 36. Guys, don't forget to use the fattiest discount code on Apollon Nutrition. Show some love to my best Ukrainian out there.
There we go. Yes. Thank you all for tuning in. Feel like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast with family, friends, and loved ones. Turn on notifications on stack.com. Subscribe to the Stack podcast. Leave Shane a good review. He tries hard, and we love him for it.
I don't try that hard, but you know, all the same.
I'm trying to help you here, buddy. I'm trying to help you.
Sweeter didn't show up today, so
Yeah.
I feel like he only shows up when we say his name.
He's off hiking in the Alps somewhere, or wherever he is.
He's
that-
he's getting ready for the trip to United States.
That son of a bitch probably matches Lucas and fucking Steps too.
Oh, he's-
yeah, man.
Is this normal? Is that normal for people to walk that much? That's not. But you said how many did you say you do?
I do between 12 and 15 a day.
That's not normal either, is it?
No. I mean,
Okay.
that's on the upper end of physical activity.
Remember, I don't have.
I like to go on walks. It's either that or I'd be sitting in front of a computer or a TV. So I'll just go on a walk and listen to a podcast.
You see, I'm the other way around though. Like, because Lucas says, "Oh, you should walk more. You can eat more." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't want to walk. So I'd rather starve myself than have to go burn it off. It's much easier."
Good luck with that.
But you could have that many more French fries instead of your almond, Shane.
Yeah, but then I'm just gonna be tired.
The carbs are going to refuel you. All right, my friends. Thank you one and all for joining us. We'll catch you all next time on The Final Scoop.